Well, we really screwed that one up, didn't we? England crash out of the World Cup semi-final stage again. The inquest starts now. Was it England too knackered? Was the refereeing too soft in the first half? There's so much to get through. But I think most people right now are looking at this, at the massive gamble, surely, that Thomas Tuchel took in going back to the wall when we went 1-0. We literally scored that goal and then just said, it's 11 men behind the ball. We're going to do what we did against Mexico. I think sometimes you've just got to try and front up to the opposition and still play football. I can't believe it. Thomas Tuchel was brought in for this moment, this exact moment. Southgate could have gone back to the wall and done this. I really don't want to go in on Thomas Tuchel because I think he has done well in this World Cup. I think he's got us where we should be in the semi-final, top 4 team in the world, as I've said many a times now. But he was brought in to get past this moment. And tonight, I don't know what that was. He gambled on England's weakest part of this squad, which is our defence. We don't keep clean sheets against big teams. And he's gone back to the wall, taking off progressive, more attacking players, players with pace that could have caused Otamendi at the back. For God's sake, of Argentina, they're the slowest Argentinian team I've ever seen in my life. He takes Gordon off, we lose all the pace. Harry Kane's isolated. He's not even isolated because he's in the back line with everybody else. Every single cross that comes into the box, even with Dan Burn and O'Reilly on, who are decent in the air, England were losing every single header. You could see that that was the problem. Surely you try and push Argentina back to stop them getting into them crosses positions, because everything was happening. England in that second half, as exciting as it was to go 1-0 up, should have lost it 4 or 5-1. The chances that Argentina had, we crashed out. When I say we crashed out, we crashed out. We crashed out in energy. We crashed out in decisions. We crashed out in our big players standing up. I thought Rice was awful. Bellingham did nothing. Kane had no service. It really did fail for England tonight in so many different ways. And like always, it failed at the biggest stage, at the big moment, when we really needed them star players that have carried us through this tournament. They just didn't have that game. And Argentina took full advantage of England doing what England do in World Cups and big tournaments. Cowered back. Our attacking prowess in this team is unmatched, I feel, apart from Francis. Our forward players in this team are some of the best in Europe. And we're playing with 6 defenders in a World Cup semi-final. Now, look, again, I don't want to slaughter Thomas Tuchel in this, but he has to carry the flak for this. He got this wrong. He got it massively wrong tonight. Everything else was perfect. Up to the goal, England take the lead. We're doing everything right. We're getting in their faces. We're holding out. We're standing our ground. As soon as we scored the goal, Thomas Tuchel went into that mentality mode against Norway, talking about the mentality of these players. How did we drop off so much? How did we fail to see the danger? How did we not realise where that game was going? How did the sideline, the professionals on that sideline, Thomas Tuchel, again, like I said, the man was brought in for these moments, make that call, make that decision, and it was too little too late. The forward players came on, and of course, it all ended up being too much. We had warning sign after warning sign after warning sign. It was embarrassing because Enzo Fernandez was taking pot shot after pot shot after pot shot. I think that was his 4th attempt. It was getting closer and closer and closer, and we wasn't learning. Bang, in goes the 4th one. We were cross after cross after cross. McAllister hit the post twice. Pickford's pulling save after save. The ball's going just past the post. Like I said, it should have been 5-1 to Argentina. What happens? Messi gets another cross. It comes in. Another warning sign from England from 7 or 8 different crosses before. This time it goes in. You've got to realise these moments in games and obviously make the changes that stop that flow of pressure. Give Argentina something to think about. If you're having nothing to defend against, you're going to push more men forward. And it's all right defending the box against an average Mexican side. I'm sorry. That's a different ball game altogether. When you've got the likes of Messi on the edge of the box, Enzo Fernandez on the edge of the box, all of these quality players that have been there and done it and won the World Cup, and you expect that to be the same outcome as it was against Mexico, because that was the plan. It was back to the wall. Let's defend what we've got. As soon as we scored the goal, and there was too much time to go to make that call. And then the pressure mounted and mounted and mounted, and the inevitable came. I won't forget the fact that Enzo Fernandez shouldn't have been on the pitch. He should have had 2 yellow cards in the first half. Absolutely disgraceful officiating in the first half from the referee. Too weak a referee to deal with what Argentina were doing. Thankfully, England scored, and then they had to start playing football, and that kind of got forgotten within it, because the semi-final should never be that bad a game of football. It was awful to watch. Yeah, nutritious and everything like that, but come on, it was pathetic from Argentina. Enzo Fernandez, first of all, fist in the back of the head of Elliot Anderson early doors. That's a yellow card, no matter what time of the game. The second one where he trips Jude Bellingham purposely when he's running through, England got a free kick commit. Not even looked at. Not even a yellow card. Absolutely disgraceful officiating from the get-go. And again, across the board for Argentina throughout this entire tournament. Before we carry on, today's video sponsor is Oxford Natural. Now, look, we're all football fans. We're all guilty of it. Match days, takeaways, sat there all weekend watching and binge watching all the football on the TV, waiting for the latest transfer news and breaking news to come through about our clubs. And before you know it, looking after yourself gets pushed down the list. That's where Oxford Natural's Optimum Day and Night supplements come in. First of all, you have Optimum Day, designed around energy and cravings and helping keep people on track. Then you have Optimum Night, based more around sleep and helping people recover properly. Nobody's saying it's magic. Nobody's saying it's going to do the work for you. But with a commitment to making positive changes, some people have seen some impressive results. Take, for instance, former England striker Michael Owen, who lost £35 on his day and night plan. You can check out Michael Owen's story alongside many others on the link below. If you're thinking it's about time I sorted myself out, then it is definitely worth giving it a go. The QR code is on the screen. The link is in the description. Make sure you use code ADAMFC on checkout to get 70% off your first order. Now back to the football. Big up to the guys at Oxford Natural, of course, for sponsoring us here on Adam FC. I don't even think they have got the remedy, though, to fix the pain that England fans are going through right now. It was a painful watch, that second half, after we scored that goal. And again, like, we can bemoan all the decisions, the officiating and everything like that in that game. But tactics-wise, Tuchel got it wrong. And I think, again, to back the defence because of what? There's been nothing in this tournament which has shouted out this defence has ever been on top, apart from that Mexican game when we had to do that. We had no option but to do that with 10 men. You don't go into games against Argentina and just expect their quality to be that bad. I don't get that thinking. I don't get it. England's defence is probably the worst defence that we've had in a World Cup or any major tournament for going on a decade. Again, I've said this before, no disrespect to them players, no disrespect to that backline for it, but they're not the best, inexperienced for that moment. What do you do then? You put the onus on your best players, your midfield, and then your forward line. But they were that flattened because they couldn't play their game, because they had zero support, because we had 6 defenders on the pitch. Jude Bellingham was irrelevant in that game because he just didn't have the right setup for it. Harry Kane, did he have a moment at all? Did he have any shots? Like, England struggled to get a shot on target. It was really, really poor from England, and a horrible way to go out again with a whimper, because that's what it was. Argentina in the second half actually turned up and played football. And this, I think, is the point. England had them. England were up, and they had them on the ropes. And then they just allowed them to just come back. Counter, 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 bang, bang, bang. And eventually the sucker punches came. 2 knockouts, no way back for England. And England looked like they'd been knocked out. They looked like the stuffing had been completely knocked out of them. And that's when we were 1-0 up. I don't get it. Are we just that tired? Were we not physically ready for that game? Has the World Cup took its toll on England again to the semi-final stage? Oh, so disappointing. Really, really disappointing way to go out, because it has been a decent tournament for England. We've not played a good game all the way through it, I don't think. But we've had our moments. Today, we didn't even have our moments. I wouldn't have minded just getting through 1-0 back to the wall there, but I think everyone could see that it wasn't going to work in the end. And he wasn't making the right changes. It just never looked like it, did it? What did Martinez really have to do in that game back from pick the ball out from that one moment? He didn't have hardly anything. He's had the easiest game of the World Cup there tonight. And it's a semi-final of the World Cup. Absolutely gutted with that. But again, that's England for you. Just the same as Southgate, unfortunately. And you can't say it's not, because that's how England always go out. Go in front, bit of hope, bang, crash out. Again, they've got the mentality. We didn't for the big stage. Let me know what you think, everybody. Get in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to Adam FC. I'll see you in the next video.